Okay, howdy guys. Welcome to another blog. Today is the 22nd of the 12th, 2018. Pretty close to Christmas, so we know what that's like. Everyone's off doing Christmassy stuff. Posted a bunch of videos the last week that have been me testing 165C2, which is the stabilization release. Trying to get those little problems filtered out. Initially, I didn't have all of my projects on my laptop here. They're all on the desktop. So I've copied a bunch of this stuff over. I haven't copied them all over because the folder's massive, but it's got all kinds of stuff in that folder. But I've got a bit of a conundrum with it. Is that now we've got a whole bunch of stuff. I've got all of this stuff that ranges from all kinds of things, really. Many of which are very specific purpose or single use kind of things. They're not meant to be used in. They're not general enough to be used to release them. Like I've got written tools here that. Yeah, you've got like assembly C structure clearer, you know. So I don't even know what this does. This is the problem. Half this stuff I have no idea what it does, why I need it anymore. Right, so this is back in 2012. It loads 68,000 source code. It looks for it builds structures to build them into C structures. Okay. Now I don't have this same hard drive path, so none of this stuff will work. Right, so the file wasn't present, so it didn't do anything. It's a bit of a bummer with these examples, but like stuff like that I can post it, even if it had the source, if some test code there for it to work on. Because in the code there may well be something in that someone's going, I wonder how such and such is done. A common one I get is, geez, why didn't you release the source code to this? We desperately need it. That kind of thing where generally after I've done something, I throw it away and I don't really care much about it after that point. So this has got a very simple phraser in it. It's actually looking at the source code character by character. That's very specific to a task, so it's not going to be very useful, but maybe the method it's using or something. Maybe the functions in it might be useful. So the point I'm getting to is I've got all this stuff. I'm wondering what to do with it. I don't really have a clue what to do with this stuff. Dtab doc builder, duplicate file errors, file remover, yeah, play docs, pre-profiler. Wave to disk is I wrote this years ago. I wonder if this actually works. So what I've been doing is I've been testing them all in 165C2 to see if this stuff at least compiles and hopefully works, but I'm not quite sure. I know for a fact that this program, oh, there you go, we've trapped something. Exit function. I bet that requires a return value. Yeah, it does. Yeah, so it's saying incorrect number of parameters. Add to split list is expecting 1 parameters. Yeah, the error's a bit weird. So we'll just put 0 at the end of that and see if it's happy now. Your exit function statement, the data types have to match those that are declared. Okay, compiled. I can't imagine this will work because it's specifically set up to look at a set of folders that have recordings of my mum and dad's LPs and old cassettes that I made. Gee, when was that? 5 years ago or something. So I transferred a bunch of these old things across when I had the second desktop computer next to me. So I'd often be recording on that system there, the whole side of the album, just dump it across, and use this to mark out the locations of where it was. But the program actually expects the files to be in that order, so this isn't going to work. But it's good to see that it actually runs. Once you'd marked out your file, or sorry, marked out the split points in the WAV files, you can actually get it to build the CD externally. It does that. Well, there you go, CD burner. Yeah, you have that sometimes when the IDE is not happy. I'll just close out of that. .165. Did it remember that? Wave to disk, it did. Okay, we'll just reopen that. We might get our labels, there we go. Right. So this is a good example of something that's it's specifically written to do one, stupid job that I had. Well, there you go. So the path has to be like this. From that device and audio test file and the name of the album, then inside that it's got the name of, there's a text file that has the song names in it and the split positions, and it just works out which song's which and burns the whole thing out for you. Took a bit of time to do this, but we've got a lot of code here that's just sitting there gathering dust. Got some functions to make WAV files. I don't know what these do now, don't ask me, I have no idea. Got a version of Flexi Menu that's in there, which is what we were looking at before. What it includes. Okay, scanner. What's scanner? Some external function. A version of Fmod. Looks like it's cut and pasted for some VB code by the looks of that. Excuse me. Oh, this is the CD burner part, that's right. This CD burner XML thing. I can't think of the program that it actually uses. Yeah. So all it does is it calls an external burning application, gives it this XML customized XML file, which it dumps down here somewhere, and calls the external program to do the burning. So you don't have to write this stuff yourself. Makes no sense. Oh, that's right. Because there's so many albums and so many descriptions, so it has a bit of a catalog library in here somewhere. Just keeps it, builds a big list of all the tracks. Scanned folders, which is like a read. Is it read replacement? I'm probably going to rip that out, by the way, too. Actually, probably in the next few revisions, after we can make sure this thing's stable as 165, we'll tear some stuff out of it. Things that are they're not used very frequently, and we can make a version in source that does the same thing. So that's a good example there of a big project that has no real secondary use. It's the kind of thing that the larger projects, when you give them out to people just look at them once and go, oh, I don't understand it, and throw it away. What's that? Curve shape editor. This could be anything. Could be anything. I hope it doesn't need some external file. Oh, this thing. Oh, there you go. Right. Vertex edge. Okay. F12 for new, apparently, so let's try that. New shape. Right, so these are in now. No. F3 is edge editor, so I'll try that. Join edges. So I should be picking this edge here. To this edge, that one, okay. Now how do I edit the point? Good question. I think M was modify edge. Oh, there you go. So you rotate this thing around, you get a weird looking thing. Okay, we're still attached to that, are we? Okay, right, so you got to select the edge before you can do anything with it. Up here, we're bending this shape around here. Makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? I think that's how it worked. Bending this down like that. The reason why I was using this to make musical note heads is so you could scale them and have well, alpha channel really. Okay, space is like to deactivate your selection. You know, I didn't say it made sense. I'm just saying that that's how it works now. Right, so now we can see it renders the shape to an image and then does a blur of that shape at different sizes. So you kind of get aliased edges around the sides. And for musical notation, it's actually it's good enough to do that. Wow, that was a lot of hassle to get that thing to work. Why? Sorry, it worked actually. I'm surprised it didn't work. Let's look at the magical box of code for something else. The microphone is actually in the road. I can't see what I'm looking at. Very clever. Games. Yeah. Some of the recent ones I've moved to this computer have been ones from the forum, like Scotty's voxel demos and Steve's 3D demo, and which is stored in a different location on my desktop. In fact, a lot of those things are just stored in the downloads folder and until I move them into somewhere else. Because inevitably I'm sitting there going, what is this? What does this thing do? Pumpkin Patch 2. Yeah. Oh, this is the boulder dash thing, isn't it? Yes, it's like the blind leading the blind. Pumpkin, yeah, it must be that. Does it work in this? Oh, it does. The rate's a bit slow though, isn't it? Might be the capture card, or might be the capturing. Boulder dash, pretty much. Drop a boulder on top of it, blows up. Push. Oh yeah. We'll run the gauntlet. See if we can die. Normally do. Let's go straight up. I think the collisions are a bit iffy in this one, but it kind of works alright. This is on the board somewhere. I think it was a Halloween. Well, as you can see, it's a Halloween game. Oh, look out. Didn't quite make that one. Go through. Used to love boulder dash as a kid. Actually still probably do, if the truth be told. Well, compiles and runs straight out of the box, so that's good. I don't know why I chose the mummy as the character. Probably had no other option. Just went, oh well, that'll do. What's down here? A lot of stuff to pick up. I'll get blown up, I'd say. Oh no. Yeah, we will. Yeah, because it's a bit dodgy. Right. Well, there you go. It's a mini example written for Halloween Pumpkin minigame challenge. Right. Yeah, I could probably put that up again. I don't think it's in the main source code board. Mario demo. I remember writing this for someone. I don't know. Oh, that's the trouble. I have no idea half the time who these things are for. When I look at them later on, it's like, oh. Yeah, okay. It's just doing one check for where little Mario is. Yay. I think he just moved off the world and has now died. Well, at least that works. Well, there you go. Well, Lemon Wizard, so that's almost 10 years ago. That is crazy. I guess the point is, as I've got a lot of this stuff on here, a lot of it I have no real idea what it does now. Street Fighter demo, Street Fighter old. What is? Oh, this. Yeah, this is the other one. Okay, this is the Street Fighter demo. I'm just going to make sure it's not going to start up in full screen mode. That generally kills the capturing on this system anyway. I'm hoping there's no other. Yeah, we'll try that. That's better. What are the keys in this thing? Okay, X and Z. Pretty old demo. What you might know is that myself, Ben Hemming, were working on a game called War of the Talisman about 95, I guess. He was a massive Street Fighter 2 fan, and we've been working on Theseus, of course, for about 2 years, something, and the publishing deal sort of fell through at the last moment, and we kind of was left, to pretty much just rot. So he wanted to do that, and at the time everyone was making Wolfenstein clones, and so we're trying to get into that with Reality 3D and trying to do everything. Too many ideas all at the one time. That was the problem. What we should have done in retrospect is build an engine that can do this, externalize the content creation, and just go, here you go. You if you can draw some characters and make the logic work, then go for it. That would have made sense, but nothing makes sense in your 20s generally. Alright. That's kind of I assume that's on the board somewhere. I'm not actually connected to the internet at the moment, so I have no idea. Well, Theseus 13. This is the. Gee, there's a whole bunch of those. Right. This is kind of a bit of an in-joke for myself, because Theseus 12 was the game you've probably seen videos of on the board and on our channel. That was written for the Amiga, and a bit of a fiasco towards the end, but our ambition just outweighed the amount of time we actually had to do this thing in. It just wasn't possible. It was ridiculous. for 3 people doing it remotely in their spare time, yeah, not the best thing in the world. So this is a bit of a homage back to that. I'll see if this works. I better try and turn the full screen stuff off. I'll just run it and debug. Yeah, there you go. Right, now why that occurs, it's inside. This is a very old library to do, to take palette mapped, or to convert an old image into a palette mapped image. When I say very old, I mean it's probably as old as this example. So it's 2007. That's pretty old. How old is this thing? 2007. Right, so it's 10 years later. You've seen the... I'll try and get it to work anyway. Now I know there's a problem with that. I'll be able to work out whether it's the code or whether it's the 165 that's at fault. So it's a good thing finding faults. That means you find less faults. Oh, what else we got there? Retro. Yeah, I posted this video the other day because it was just one of those ones that was just sitting here doing nothing. So check it out. Have a quick look. This one. Yay! It's got multiple planes. We've got a background plane and a foreground plane. We're just rendering sprites to the foreground plane and blending the two things together. I remember this conversation now. Someone said it wasn't possible in PB, and I said, well, you're full of it. And wrote it, showed it, well, sent it to this particular person, and they never responded after that. What a surprise. Oh, that's the games folder. I've got a lot of other people's games as well, but I didn't actually keep them in this folder. In my main source folder, it has just everything from years, not just PB stuff. It's all other stuff mixed in together. So at least here I've tried to separate them out to all be PB stuff, and most small things now I don't even bother to keep them. Right, so that's right. There's this thing. I wonder if that, yeah, we'll try it anyway. This is for playing videos, streaming them using the Windows Media streaming stuff. See if this works. Okay. Well, the answer is no. It doesn't work the way it's meant to. That screen should be pulled all the way down to here, but at least it appears above the main screen. I don't know why. But animation here is just a video that's created in PB as well. Yeah, that should be in here too, actually. But I know the media is not in here because the media that uses for that animation, or to build the animation, is the sort of global picture folder for PlayBASIC, which is not within here. What else is there? Effects. Most of the stuff here you would have seen before, I'm guessing. Image spooling. What is that? I've no idea. What's in the graphics folder? Oh, I remember this. Someone wrote a game with a really... Okay, we should... Is it in the header? No, it's not. We'll run it and see if it works. I do remember this though. Okay, image memory in... Right. You'd be correct in saying I don't really understand what's going on, apart from it's rendering a picture to the screen, a very tall picture. Oh, okay. Terrain chunk. Now I remember this. I think it cuts up the image in horizontal slabs and renders those slabs to the screen, a bit like a map would, but each tile is actually the full width of the screen, maybe like 16 pixels high or something. And it's doing that for some particular reason. I have no idea now. Copies this into that and does that. I think it's on the board, but guys, chuck it up there again. Who is this for? I remember that image. I just don't remember. I'm thinking maybe it was. Ian used to write all these things here. It might have been one of Mick's actually. Mick wrote a whole bunch of things, and I have no idea which ones are which. Ian wrote a bunch of them as well. Early on, probably 2006 or something like that, 2007 or 8 or something. In that couple of years. And a lot of his examples are missing now. They were stored externally, and those sites don't exist anymore. And occasionally, I found a few on the older system, but sinus image. This must be on the site for sure. So that requires an image. I'm going to bother with that. It looks simple enough that it should work. We'll just pretend it worked. There you go. That's hardcore testing for you. Perspective ground ring. What is that? Oh, this thing. Yeah, I think Nick used that in the platform game he was making. Yeah, it doesn't say. Like most things, it doesn't say what it was for, when it was made. Well, we know when it was made, roughly 2012. That sounds about right, I guess. Anyway, so rather than me ramble on for another 3 hours while I pick through golden ollies, I'll have a look at the just thinking of the rays of light. Got a feeling that's actually full screen. A lot of those old ones are full screen. Frame halted. Okay. Oh. No, we'll just say that. I think there's yeah, there you go. It's that old demo. It's a bit framey on Windows 10. A shame. Demos, I think it was in. No. Yeah, anyway, so there's a lot of bits and pieces in here, and I really have no idea which ones are which. There's that demo. Just make sure it doesn't Doesn't go full screen on us. It's windowed, that's fine. This one, oh, there you go. It's got a bunch of keys in it. There you go. This object format has like the animations are done in much like drawing a picture of a moving object. There, the character is posed in different positions, and the vertices are baked in those positions, and you just interpolate between the different stances. Yeah, that could go on the board, I guess. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying before, got this old stuff here, and most of it seems to work pretty well with 165. What's in the GUI? Oh, there you go. Oh, this is the form converter for talking about projects that are very specific and very single use. Let's try that. No, I might just reload that, see if it gives us all of the... Wow, got a bunch of stuff in this. Does it even work? The answer is no. It doesn't. It did something initially. It loaded the page in. Oh, okay. Unknown operation code with flexi state. So possibly something's happening with our variable read, our field there. Although it's above, it's doing the same thing. So yeah, something's wonky there. That's a runtime thing, I would say. Maybe a compiler thing, but probably a runtime thing. So I found that one problem. But this is a big project. The idea was to actually, well, to try and guide people towards the idea that you can use third-party applications to generate data for yourself, and then you can convert that data into something you can use in PlayBASIC. So you could, use a common example would be, using a mapping tool that someone else has built, and then just importing that file and loading it into PB. Now, it might take a bit of effort to convert it, but it's a lot easier than writing a mapping tool or a world building tool or whatever whatever the tool does. So here, the idea was that I was wondering if I could use VB6 form designer and import the forms and convert them to flex. It kind of works. It's not pretty, but it kind of works, and actually generates this code here. So your converter window becomes a include file. You include that in your project, and you've got a template for you to plug in your custom sort of response code into. So when this window here is deleted, when the open window is called, this function is called, and you can do something in here yourself. Sounds easy. Bit of messing around. So flexi form, export flexi form. It's just literally just dumping text together. That's all it's doing. Yeah. Anyway, it's something else to look into, that one. I think I spotted that same problem with another one actually, in the example pack here. Just make sure that's running a debug. Prem halted. Okay. Yeah. Right, so each window is just blended with the background. Be on a FX surface, of course. If they're all transparent, you can't really tell which one's at the front. You know, it's kind of a bit stupid. But it's just there for an effect, really. Well, that one seems to work anyway. It's good to know. I don't know why the other one was stopping. Yeah, so anyway, getting back to the point of today's little video is, I guess, Merry Christmas and all that kind of stuff, and thanks for being curious about PB, and thanks for writing things and doing stuff, and liking videos and watching videos occasionally and doing those kind of things. Helps keep some motivation there to keep producing new content, keep updating the damn thing, which requires a lot of effort. Sometimes people don't really understand just how much work goes into this thing. Even for a simple 2D product like PB, there's a lot of painful work that goes into it, and when you've got a bit of a torn hamstring, which I have at the moment, it's not very nice. Anyway, thanks for hanging about. No, I know this wasn't very useful. If you've got any feedback about what to do with the old examples, or something in particular you're sort of chasing after, you think I might still have, I can't guarantee that I do have them. I kept most things I write. A lot of them recently I don't. I just write them once and either just save them temporarily or just throw them away. So they're either just cut and paste into a forum thread somewhere or not. I guess that's the main point, really, is that once something is in a code snippet inside a thread that maybe has nothing to do with what the topic is, which you notice a lot of threads tend to go like that. They're hard to find, and people, even for myself, it's like, well, I remember doing that, but where is it? If you can't remember the search term, it's very difficult. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you some other time. See you later. Bye.